There's no stopping me.
No stopping me.
Get out of my way, I'm like a runaway train flying at a supersonic speed. I got what you want,
I got it.
I got what you need.
I got it.
Welcome to the show. Get ready for the major leagues. Alright, all my life I said I'm gonna be one of the greats. Now I'm finally here. Nothing about this fake. Oh, it's the real thing. Oh, it's the real thing.
Yeah.
All my life I said
it.
I'm gonna be one of the greats. Oh, it's the real thing. Got the heart of a lion, strong as iron, with a fire burning in my soul. There's a chip on my shoulder that looked like a mountain from every time someone said no.
Never say
I got
yes.
$1 million swag, don't forget that.
What's up, everybody? Drew Cappuccino here on another great episode of The Art of Leveling Up. This episode is brought to you by Dynamic Conversion Consulting Services. That's DCCS for short. Single point of communication for multiple services. If you have needs in real estate, insurance, talent management, human resource, academy, media, technology, DCCS is your one-stop solution. Today, we are going to talk to Kashaun Parker. She is, well, first of all, let me tell you how humbled I am. I've known this woman for a couple years now and watched her grow into the superstar that she is today. And today, we're going to be talking about her book, which you can see a better zoomed in copy up there at the front of the piano, of the Voices of the 21st Century. Kashaun, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Drew. It's good to be here. I'm excited about our talk today.
Yeah. So we've known each other for a while,
Yeah.
and we're part of, we have a networking group that we share together for shared connections.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first met you, there was like, you were transitioning, right? It was like watching the cocoon kind of happen, you know?
Yeah.
And watching you level up, which is, that's why this show is in play.
Sure.
So other people get to see, hey, how did you do it? And then maybe it'll help them too, because our goal here is to help as many people as we possibly can. Why don't you give us a little bit of insight on your story?
Sure. Oh boy. So my story. The background of my story, Drew, as you know, there's a lot of hardships and overcoming. And the foundation of it was just the persistence, I think. The persistence in me to say, there's gotta be more. There's gotta be more. I lost my parents early on.
Mm.
And after that I ended up married, and then I lose my husband. And within a few years after that, my job, my foundation just announced that they're going to be closing. And so it was like, I'm so tired of losing.
Right.
Like I need to create a different tagline, because loss isn't it. And and that just really set me on a trajectory of being consciously aware and really doing my part to create change. And that's really the background, the foundation of what I do.
So, so you went from a negative space, which I'm sure the mindset to that was just, when you have loss and grief, familiar.
Yes.
It's so overwhelming that it's hard to focus on what your next steps are or what your future is going to be, right? So,
yes.
What were some of the challenges that you had to face in order to say, you know what, it's time to take a step forward and build my own path?
That's such a rich question, because as we know, when we deal with grief, it's its own process, it's its own ecosystem, and I respect that. Evolvement, that transitional space, with everything in me, just have to go through it so many times. But I think what it was that I say arrested me was who I was becoming as a result of all those things. Like, I had a right to be in my grief. I had a right to have my feelings. I had a right to just own my feelings. But the me that I was projecting onto my world, I did not have a right to do. I did not have a right to be her. And when I looked at her and I said, I understand. It makes sense. Yes, you're hurting, but you can't hurt those around you.
Correct.
And so that is really what set me on the journey to develop myself and say, even though I'm hurting, even though I don't understand, what can I do? And so I hired my first coach, and we just started to dig in. And the more we dug in, what I learned, Drew, is that I was only seeking permission. I was seeking someone to stand by me and say, yes, all those things hurt.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Right, right.
And once I got that, I was like, okay.
Right.
Now it's okay. Now what?
Right. Right. So dealing with a coach, is that what inspired you to become a coach?
Yes. So what I fell in love with was the transformation, the art of true accountability, the art of getting permission to set realistic goals and just say, no matter what, I'm going for this. And again, just to be permissible in my journey and to have someone to encourage me, stand in that gap when I didn't see it and I got afraid of myself. And, just to say, okay, what's one more thing? What's the next best thing? And what I saw on the other end of that is what's evolving here.
Yep.
Right. It's what's coming forth. And I'm so thankful for it.
Wow, that's awesome. And that's a great answer to that. I feel that everybody has this opportunity to kind of take a 3D view, right? Look down upon yourself, or what I like to call is own your own mirror.
Yes.
Look at your mirror.
Yes.
What are other people seeing that you don't? What are the perception? Not that you should really care about what everybody thinks of you. There's certain things that you should. And so you get that a lot, right? Like, hey, who cares what they think? Well, I do. Because if that's how they think, the mindset out there about who I am and what my goal should be moving forward. I set a goal to say, I want to help as many people as possible.
Yes.
How am I going to do that if people perceive me to be in a certain mindset? Right?
That's true.
So I think that now that you have the coach, somebody just kind of nudged you and said, hey, Kashaun, let me put you in the right turn. Now walk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Walk. You can walk faster now. Run. Don't forget to jump. It's okay.
Yes.
You're safe. Jump. Right?
Yes.
And so you did. And now, you are a successful coach, keynote speaker, and you're taking this knowledge of what you've learned and you're sharing it with others on how to adapt and overcome these types of mindsets and scenarios, which is, I commend you. I'll give you a salute for that. That's huge. So, and you find yourself too, where you're like, hey, okay, so I'm going to do this, right? This part A, and then there's part B and part C. And so maybe you get into A and, it's not so easy. And all of a sudden it throws a brick at you, but you see something in part B that makes more sense. So guess what? You transition over a little bit, right? So I've watched you from the beginning to fruition, all the way to Voices of the 21st Century. So let's talk about the book a little bit.
Okay.
Tell me about the book. Give a quick summary.
Sure.
We want people to read it. So if you're just sitting here talking about it, people are just going to watch this.
Yeah.
First of all, how'd you come up with the title? Because that's an awesome title. And give us a 2-second lowdown on what the book's about.
Absolutely. So the book, I love the book because it's a co-collaborative project. And Drew, you know me, I am big on community. And what I found here was just a collection, a collaboration of powerful women that were like me, that had every right, every reason to be arrested in their story and justified in the things that have come to them and that chose differently. So I said, this is my tribe. Then, so back it up, because I was talking with my business coach, and she's like, "Well, Kashaun, what do you want to do?" And I said, "I'm thinking and speaking. I'm not sure." And she says, "Well, first of all," she says, "I know your story. I've heard your story." And she gave me this nugget that I hold on to. And she said, "What if your story didn't happen, just for you? Who needs it?" And I sat with that for a very long time.
That's powerful.
It was so powerful, because that then gave me permission to use my voice from a platform, from a stage. And the more I kind of opened up to it, and I go, I love the art of being a keynote speaker. By this time, I was in Toastmasters for about a year and a half, loved it. And I was just like, I need something. And I said, I keep going to these spaces, and they're like, "Where's the book?" And I'm like, "I don't have a book. So I think I need a book." And it was really that simple.
I think I've asked you that a couple times. So, Kashaun, when's the book coming out?
When is the book coming out? And so she says, "I have a partnership for you." And so she introduced me to Women's Speakers Association.
Nice.
When she introduced me to the association, I had the opportunity to meet with the owner. Her name is Gail Watson. She's on the book. And she interviews everyone that is going to be a part of this project. And she says, "Why should you be a part of this book?" And I said, "Well, I'm told that I need a story. So, a book. So here I am. I just, I want to just tell my story." She says, "Well, what is your story?" So, Drew, I give her the story. I give her the story of Kashaun evolving. And she says, "Yeah, you need to be in this book."
That's a book.
She says, "You need to
that's
be
a
in
movie.
this."
Yes.
Yes.
When's the movie coming out, Kashaun?
Oh, well, to be, okay. It's in process. It's in works. But, when I started the project, and I'm thinking of writing, and now I have this agreement to do this book. So now the book is coming. And then I understand the premise of the project. And when I learned that there are 45 women that are in this book that are all telling their story to start a movement, to give women permission to create this empowerment, this body of just, it's okay. Now, what do you want to do?
Right.
And when I sat with it, I go, I feel like I'm at home. I feel like I'm in the right spot to do the right thing. And there's no better time than now to get this done. And so I sat with that and wrote the book.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. Thanks for the copy of it, by the way.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to read this. I'm going to start this tonight. The perception that you give is phenomenal, because, for instance, it's like, okay, now what? Or is it, okay, now what?
Now what?
Right?
Yes,
two different perceptions. And you pick B. And sometimes I pick A until somebody else is like, pick B. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, listen, folks, the voices of the 21st century. Kashaun, how does somebody get this book?
Sure. So the best way to get a copy of that book is on my website, nextstepforwardcoach.com. You can place your orders and get you the signed copy of the book.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so keynote speaking and stuff like that. Let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
You're still obviously doing that now that you're a superstar with the book, right? So you're still out there. You're still helping other people.
Yes.
If somebody wants you for their organization, what's the information to get a hold of you for that if they want a keynote speaker?
So the best way to reach me there is email, Kashaun@nextstepforwardcoach.com. And I just set up an introduction. I'll reach out, and then we have a conversation and see if it's a fit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, folks, listen, Kashaun Parker, Voices of the 21st Century. Let's go ahead, get out there, get this book, check it out, read it, reach out to Kashaun. There are other places that I'm sure you will be seeing her as far as being on our platform. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff with that. If you like what you see here, the Art of Leveling Up, feel free to join the 21/6 Creator Studios. Go to YouTube, go to our live tab. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ding that bell. And you'll see other shows just the same that are fantastic. You know, we have a veteran show called Roger That Chronicles, and it's veterans helping veterans. We put that together, and that is just killing it right now.
Nice.
Yeah. And there are a lot of local communities and stuff like that are joining in with that. So we're constantly building along with being part of that ecosystem with knowing people like you and how we can move forward.
Create the ecosystem.
That's right. That's right. Kashaun, thank you so much for coming today. I do appreciate your time. Until next time, folks, Kashaun Parker,
thank you.
Local rock star here in the Midwest. Please check out our book, and looking forward to our next episode. Kashaun, enjoy the rest of your day. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Drew. I appreciate you.
Take care, everybody.
Yes.
Bye.